For it is that when you are in the emptiness or you're in the womb space, you're in the black light, you're in the nothingness, you are in also in a deep space of creation in which there is no recognition or understanding of a reality outside of that in which you have known. And you're in that gestation period of that emptiness. It is the same that is occurring now as it is opening this aperture, as we've been speaking of, to birth something new which you can't perceive from where it is that you are. But where you are, as your attention and focus is deeply distracted from the vision of whatever is being stimulated at any given time, it is more difficult for you to open pathways to a creational process that gives birth to that in which has never been seen or known before. Hi and welcome. I am Kelly Kolodny. Some people call me the Angel Lady, and I'm here to channel the Angel Raphael for all of you. And if you have your hand raised, that means you're here live on Zoom watching this. And if you're watching it on YouTube, welcome. And if you would like to be in our live chat where you can ask a question directly to the Angel Raphael, you can join our free membership where you can come every Wednesday at 3 o'clock and do that. But before I channel and answer people's questions, I thought I'd share a little bit about what I've been doing, um, which is unusual. It's definitely a conversation stopper if you're at a cocktail party, for sure. But I've been in the dark for 3 days, and I got back on Monday afternoon. And so the process around that is I went into what's called a dark retreat. And the reason I chose to do that is to prepare energetically for the sacred holy womb light code. It feels like a very powerful and potent light code. It's coming up in a couple weeks, or in a week and a half on the 27th. And it's preparing us as we're moving toward the winter solstice. And I know it's going to be really special. And I wanted to just drop in and receive whatever I needed to receive. So, what a better place to enter into the womb space than to go into the darkness? So, I went to a place that's called a dark retreat. And you go into a room, like a bedroom, and get a little bit familiar with it for about an hour and a half. And there's a couple little lights on, and you turn them off one by one, and then there's a candle. And the candle is lit. And on Thursday night, probably around 6 p.m., I blew out the candle. And there I was in the pitch black, alone, in the nothingness, by myself for 3 days. So I had to crawl to the bathroom to get used to and familiar with my way there, which is a little bit of a distance from where my bed was. It was, felt very far in the dark. And eat in the dark and shower in the dark and be alone with myself in the dark and my thoughts and my feelings and my emotions and everything. And it was easier than I thought it might be, and I could have probably stayed. I would like to do it next time longer. Um, and in some ways, it was almost deeply familiar. It was very nurturing, for me anyway, and and beautiful and profound. And I had some really profound experiences that I'll share with you in the Light Code, of course, that I know that I'm going to be able to, I hope, implement in my own journey and share with you in a way that you'll be able to implement. But well, some really incredible things came from it. And in this time that we're in right now, where we're all so busy and we're on our phones, and it's clicking all the time and dinging and you come home and everyone's sitting either on their computer or their phone. Um, Something has deeply been lost in our connection with each other and in our culture. And it's become normalized, but it's really profoundly obvious, for all of us all the time. I'm sure we're aware, but when we're removed from it, and we come back to it, it's really clear that we need not we or at least I can speak for myself, the changes around that are just really important, especially as we continue to accelerate in technology and become more and more perhaps dependent upon it, that we find places of refuge and sacredness to return to our center, to ourself, to our deep inner knowing in preparation to really expand our consciousness in this incredible birthing process that we're in right now, as we're birthing a new consciousness, a new reality, as we're coming more and more into union and community and into love. So, next Friday, we're going to do a thing for about an hour at 9 in the morning. It's free and open to everybody. And I'm going to channel. We're going to tap into what we need to do to prepare for the Sacred Holy Womb Code. And also, when I need healing, there's this woman that I go to. I've been going to her for, she's my good friend. Uh, God, 40 years or something, like way long. She's an incredible healer, and she's offered to give somebody a session with her. You can do it over the line. So somebody will win a session on Friday. We thought that that would be really sweet. So we'll send out an email about that. Okay, so is there anything, Casey, you said you were going to ask me a few questions and then we're going to channel and
Yeah, sure. So, I guess the first question would be, you said all of that beautiful stuff. What was the main takeaway if you had to say it as concisely as possible?
Hmm, um, to cherish everything and to slow down, like deeply slow down. It was really interesting being in the dark that I found myself rushing. And especially the first day before I acclimated, and the food would come and it's in these little containers and you don't know what's in it and what it's going to taste like. And you're trying to find your fork and your napkin and you don't want to spill it upside down. And sometimes it was soup and I'm like, oh, it's hot. I'm going to spill it and all these things, right? But you just have to really calm down, like just be very, very, very present and then slowly open it and be very conscious and aware. I'm holding it and then I'm praying over it. And I pray over my food already, but like there was so much spaciousness to just really be present with the food and to really taste it and to really chew it. And I found in the beginning, it was almost like I was, like it was my project to eat the breakfast. And then I was like, well, what am I hurrying for? There's nothing else to do. I'm here all day in the dark. So what am I rushing for? And I think it was just the programming of hurry, move, rush on to the next thing is so embedded that I found myself, or even when I would go to the bathroom and I'd be washing my hands, I'd be like, washing my hands. Well, I'm not like, where am I going? Nowhere. So then you really pay attention to the soap and the hot water and you wash them for a really long time and you feel your fingers and then you dry them really well, because you have all this space to be present and to drop in, which we talk about. But for me anyway, it's not an easy thing to do. And the first day I was really still, even though I was aware I had all this time, I was still aware that I was rushing. So slowing down, creating spaciousness, deleting things, coming into stillness, all the things we talk about, but like really doing it. It really brought that into focus. So go ahead. What?
Yeah, and so I have two questions and answer whichever one you want. One being, um, when you reflect back, what is it that causes us to rush, or at least you? Do you have an answer for that one? And then I have another question after that. And then we're done.
Mm, I think that my mind was like, oh, when I was rushing, even just washing my hands, usually I'm washing my hands somewhere, like I'm in a restaurant and I want to get back to the people, or I'm washing my hands because I have to finish, get in the car to go somewhere, or serve dinner to people, or like it's almost like I gotta get that part done because I have something else to do that's more important. So I'm on to what the next thing is rather than being totally just incredibly present with the unfolding of that moment. And so I think it's this mindset of something that I'm going to be doing next is somehow more important or more valuable, and that this isn't, that washing my hands isn't that important, or that really chewing this food slowly, like, oh, but I have blah, 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 blah to do. I don't have time to do that. But what else do we have? Like, why? Like, what are we trying to get to?
Right. And so I just want to point something out. What I hear is a difference between, and correct me if I'm wrong, my timeline versus I need to make sure that I'm on someone else's timeline. Like people are waiting for me in the car, people are in the restaurant or something like that, or we need to get this done by that time, rather than sinking into kind of our own organic timeline and trusting in the flow of that. What do you think about that?
Yeah, for sure. But even that's so deeply programmed in me that even when I had all that time and I had 8 hours, before there was another check-in and the dinner came or whatever, 10 hours, and you lose complete sense of time in a way, it was still running. I was still like trying to set up my schedule as simple as it was. Like I'm going to brush my teeth and then I'm going to take the shower and then I'm going to do my yoga and then I'm going to do this, like whatever it was, my chanting and my meditation, like in order for me to keep a sense of this is my mind knowing what was next. And it took a couple days, wasn't really till the third day that I was able to drop in more and even that start to fall away. So the conditioning is just so deep and profound. At least for me, it was.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I guess my last question before we get started, and you might want to save it for October for the 24th, is just the experience of taking off the blindfold. What did you really notice afterwards in those first couple of moments? What was different?
I didn't want to take off the blindfold. And I thought for sure I would. I thought I would be so excited, like, yeah, I made it. I did it. I'm there. I made it through the 3 days and this is my big moment. And I was like, no, I don't want to come back out. It's kind of like a baby in the womb. Like, no, I want to stay in here because it was so deeply nourishing and nurturing. So it took me a while to take it off. Like I had it on and I would go to kind of lift it and then I put it back down. And I'd say to the person, the practitioner with me, I'm not ready." Um, and I mean, I'll share when we get into the code, the profound things that happen of portals opening into other realities and so many things. But the other thing that was really interesting was that I was aware when the sun set and I was aware when it rose. Like I could feel it in my being, even though there was no way to know. And the person that was helping came in the morning and brought my food on the third day. And then he said, I'll be back for you in the evening to let you out. And I don't know it because they don't tell you what time it is. I don't know if that was 7 hours or 12 hours or 10 hours or whatever it was. But I went through my whole day, and then about 10 minutes before he arrived, which of course I didn't know when he was going to arrive, changed my clothes, I put on my shoes, I like got ready, and I walked toward the door. And as soon as I walked toward it, he knocked. So I was like starting to tune into the awareness of feeling into it, like that somebody was coming and when they were coming, or the sun was setting, and things that were happening on a different level. But now I feel like I got off track from what you asked me. So when I took off the blindfold, I didn't want to. Um, I really didn't want to. I think it took me like 10 minutes. But when I did, I just, I was just in awe of everything, and everything felt so alive.
Hmm.
And the trees were alive, which you would like so alive, like talking, and the plants, and even the chair where he was sitting, like next, it was so alive. Everything was so alive. And I was like, oh, how come I am missing all this? because I'm in my head busy thinking about the next thing I have to do. So, and then we took a walk in the woods and I kind of started to acclimate. And then he made dinner for me. And there was this feeling like, oh, I should grab my phone, and people will probably, family probably wants to know that I came out and that I'm okay. And I probably have 1,000 messages and look at my email. And he's like, really don't. And I was like, yeah, I know, I won't. And I didn't. I didn't pick up my phone at all until the next day. And it was like going back in time, before we had technology. And it was just like he made dinner and put on some music and we were just chatting, and there wasn't, my mind wasn't going to, I need to check or do, or it was just so able to fully be present. And so I know I'm still integrating it. I will be for a while. And I have so much I want to share with all of you guys, but obviously I know people have lots of questions, so we're going to do that. But we're going to do some really special things in the womb code. And I had some very powerful, magical moments where portals, the fabric of reality opened up into spaces where light came and appeared and took me places. And I think just having the time to be in that kind of space, I had these experiences. And I'm hoping that through the transmissions and the work we do together in the sacred holy womb space, that will start to open for others, because people that I'm talking to and a few friends I've reached out to in the last few days have also had recently some really profound experiences, especially with their pineal gland and things happening, because there's a lot going on and we're receiving so much. And if we can just get in, if we can just subtract enough to create enough space, I believe we can really deeply tap into these gifts that Raphael's been talking about so much for so long, that we start to glimpse and have access a little bit to, but like really, really experience them, like fully experience them, and begin to birth this new reality together. So I'm really excited about that. I really am. So yeah.
All right, great. Yeah, let's get to those questions. So many questions that people have, huh?
Okay, sounds good. So I will channel. All right. Ah. Ow, 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 ow. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hi, Raphael.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
No, hello. Wow, wow. We are calibrating to the new frequency of this being in which we travel through to speak to all of you, and the initiation that took place within her energetic field that has not been integrated yet, although perhaps she might think it has been. There will be much more profound energies and integration in the coming days as she drops into the spaciousness of the receiving of the gifts in which arrived. And so perhaps be a bit patient today as we are calibrating to her new vibration as she is calibrating to ours. And so we understand that we are here today to attune to all of you and whatever it is that you are wanting to talk about in this now moment. And so, hello.
Hello. So, Raphael, I have a quick question before we open it up to everyone. And um, we often talk so much about opening up to the light codes and receiving the light and being of the light. And I'm curious of what part does darkness have to play in our evolution of reaching ascension as humanity?
What is a critical component that has been deeply suppressed? And it is arising at this time, and it is the amplification of the light that is magnificent and beautiful and powerful, but also at times overstimulating and so expansive that it needs to be integrated and to be received and to be absorbed. And to, although it is extraordinarily reflective, it is that as you are deepening and journeying into the darkness, into the emptiness, into the black light itself, where there is nothing and everything, in which creation was born from, there is nothing to be reflected off of it. And so there is a lessening of the ego mind, a deconstructing of form itself, and a returning to the remembering of source. And it is that through this and only the balancing of this energy and this frequency that has been deeply denied will become profoundly more understood, and there will be greater awareness of it. And there is a deep longing within the energetic body and the beings of all of you, and the rememberings of all of the times in which you have spent in the darkness and in the caves, in your prayer and contemplation, and the times even before the fire arose, and the energies and the spaces in which you were cradled in the womb of creation of the stars that reside inside of you. And so it is deeply potent, incredibly powerful, and deeply needed for you as a collective at this time.
Hmm. Yeah. And can you tell us a little bit about why the dark is a necessity in the creation process as we move into birthing a new consciousness?
You must empty before you begin again. It is the death process. It is the birth process. It is all the same. For nothing new can come from a space that is full. For it is that when you are in the emptiness, or you are in the womb space, you're in the black light, you're in the nothingness, you are in also in a deep space of creation, in which there is no recognition or understanding of a reality outside of that in which you have known. And you're in that gestation period of that emptiness. It is the same that is occurring now as it is opening this aperture, as we've been speaking of, to birth something new in which you can't perceive from where it is that you are. But where you are, as your attention and focus is deeply distracted from the vision of whatever is being stimulated at any given time, it is more difficult for you to open pathways to a creational process that gives birth to that in which has never been seen or known before. For it can only continue to emanate, amplify, stimulate, recirculate that which has already been, perhaps in new formations, in new ways, but it is not birthing something that is original in a sense. And so, this original or new energy that is not a recycled energy, that is emanating from the darkness, is able to have life. And so, it is a very primordial vibration that you're familiar with deeply at the essence of your being and within your own soul, that has been lost. And it is the interruption into these cycles and this space that has disconnected many from source, from connection, from communication, because the brain and the hormones are not able to move into a natural rhythm in which there is an opening that opens up the fabric of reality through the emptiness, through the darkness, to perceive and to receive energies and information and knowingness that had not been received before. And so it is essential at this time for all of you to move and to create space within this emptiness. If you are to take all of the collective thought patterns, information, and energies that have given rise to your collective consciousness and the perception of your reality, to begin to open that space to give birth to a new.
And how could the average person that might be listening to this call right now integrate some of these practices that would allow for the spaciousness necessary for new visions and new ways of being to come online?
Hey everybody, so I am doing something pretty crazy and wild. I'm doing a 3-day dark retreat. And a 3-day dark retreat is when you're completely immersed in the dark, in the emptiness, with no sound and no light for 3 full days. I'll be doing that in about 10 days from now. And the reason I'm doing that is to prepare for the sacred holy womb light code so that I can be in that space of the womb, the emptiness of creation, because I feel something really intense and powerful is coming up as we close into the end of 2025. And Raphael is asking me to prepare. So we're going to drop into the Sacred Holy Womb Code on October 27th, and we're going to birth all new realities. It's going to be incredibly powerful, and I can't wait to share with you my experience and tap you into the potent frequency of the womb chakra. So we'll see you there. You can click the link below to register. Oh, well, they are needing to disengage from everything for a period of time. Time itself has reached a particular limit and it is shifting dramatically. Many of you are beginning to feel this change in time. And in this, some of you are experiencing that there is not enough time, that things are moving so rapidly. Others are experiencing that time is being elongated, but your relationship with time is one in which is malleable, is one in which you can design and create and begin to form through your consciousness, and also that in relationship to others. It's going to be changing dramatically. And so it is that as you begin to create more space in the darkness or in disengaging from the activity of the mind, moving into the stillness and into the emptiness and into the void for periods of time in which perhaps it feels that you do not have time to do, you will begin to expand time, and your whatever it is that you are operating on or attuning to in terms of the unfoldment of what you are wanting to do will come with more excellence, more completion, more beauty, more intention, more delivery in the most magnificent way. And so you are asking practically what it is that you can do is to be in the darkness for periods of time, not only at night, but even during the day, where you artificially bring yourself into the dark to rest. And even with the eyes open, perhaps blindfolded, to allow you to connect with this space of the dark and become connected and familiar and in relationship with the emptiness of it and awareness of what unfolds. And as you begin to remove that, your relationship from the emptiness back into the light will amplify whatever is being reflected within your reality that has been obscured from you or hidden from you, or you have not noticed or been able to see due to the distraction and the busyness of the mind. And that which starts to come forward as you are removing the blindfold, as you are coming into alignment with whatever is amplifying within your experience, you will recognize that it is coming into union with you. It is wanting to communicate, to connect with you, to bring you back into balance. And you will start to cultivate a deeper understanding in your participation of the creation process and your capacity to open up the fabric of reality for creation of new worlds and realms.
Thank you, Raphael. I have one more question, and then we'll move on to the other questions. Is what advice would you give to someone who's trying to master their relationship with time? If they've sensed it speeding up or slowing down, and they want to come into a more harmonious relationship with time, what would you suggest this person do?
Now, to return to the natural world and to begin to come back into the rhythms of the sun as it is arising in the morning and it is setting in the evening, as a removal of all artificial light and to come back into these rhythms for a period of time and disconnection from what you call the blue light, that is not the blue beings of light, but the light that emanates off of your devices that is affecting your pineal glands and shutting them down, and to begin to disconnect from them and for longer periods of time so that you can begin to return to the natural cycles and to slow everything down and to elongate it and to be deeply present. And although temporarily this will be difficult for many of you and you will think you do not have time for it, it will begin to expand time and more space within your energetic field, allowing you to open up to higher realms and octaves of energies that are descending rapidly and approaching your planet at this time. If you are unable to empty, to move into the spaciousness, into the stillness, into the creation space, into the void, and then it is that which is approaching from a powerful and deeply energetic level of light, that a wave of energy of love that is descending on your planet. It will not be able to be absorbed because you will not be able to experience or feel it because your mind will be too engaged in the busyness of something that is irrelevant in the larger perspective.
Thank you, Raphael. All right, I'm gonna call on some people that I've not seen before, just to give everyone a shot. Lisa, go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, hello.
Hello. I would like a group healing for physical illness, all traumas and effects on our bodies and properties, generationally back and forward.
Well, we are delighted that you will be entering the womb space. For it is that this space connects you to your ancestral lineage, to creation itself, to the DNA of all ancestors, as it moves back and brings into union and attunement all of the womb energies, and a deep purification and clearing of these energies can occur, in which we will be working with in depth. And you can open up to this spaciousness on your own as you attune to the creational energy of the Great Mother and her energy, an attunement to her womb space, as she can cradle you and love you and nurture you, and you can bring into that emptiness, into that black light and that void, whatever it is that you are asking to be in receiving of the purification of these vibrations that brings you back into union, into the 0 point, and into balance from the polarities of what you are perhaps speaking of in the deep wounds and traumas that have unfolded through the ancestral lineages. It is, however, that the power of miracles resides within the willingness to receive them, the belief that they are possible, and the attunement to their frequencies. And I, as Archangel Raphael, as a healing vibration of emerald light and a spiral of love descending down upon the planet, may enter into your heart center and explode light within the heart, opening up a spaciousness for a willingness to let go of whatever it is that is being held within the story of one's identity and creation that continues the repetitive patterning of dis-ease, discomfort, wounds, and traumas within the physical form and held within the spiraled forms of the DNA to unravel, to loosen, to dissolve, and to return to source. So all of this is something in which one must be open to. And from this perspective, in this now moment, you may invite, of course, all of you at any time, my energy to arrive prior to falling off to sleep or in those early waking morning hours before the mind has begun to construct reality and stitch together the ideas that keep you disconnected from source itself, that I may enter in a space space of your own innocence when your guards are down, to receive a willingness to take in what is needed to come back into union with my light that rises at the base of your spine, up through your body, clearing and opening up the pranic tube for the receptivity and the spaciousness to receive miracles.
Thank you, Raphael. Thank you so much. All right, Lois. Oh, we can't hear you yet. You should be able to. Can you unmute yourself? Is that my fault?
There, I think I
There we
have. Thank you. And you were missed last week, Casey, so I'm glad you're back.
go.
Raphael, my friend, I want a sample of the joy that we will experience when we come to meet you and everyone in Unity Consciousness. Give us a sample of what this energy will feel like. I feel that there's such joy that our human mind and words fail. Thank you and much love.
I love you. 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 Oh, it is the willingness to receive that love there where the joy emanates from. When all of the guards fall down and the protective mechanisms fall away and the ego begins to dissolve, and all is open in a vulnerable space and a willingness to allow oneself to fully receive the love that is being poured into you at all times and also emanating from you, the attunement to that without anything in the way of that that the mind has created, and that the joy arises.
All right. Ralph.
Hi, guys, and hi, Raphael.
Hello.
Hi. So, I have a real practical question that can be helpful for everyone in the day. You know that many people are out there being distracted every day and get thrown off from their center. So, can you give us a practical tip on how to deal with that to center yourself in the day? Since we don't have time to sit and meditate long, an hour or half an hour, but just in a few minutes, get yourself back in the center. That would be helpful for all, I think. Thank you.
Well, it is that where it is that you are in the human body, there is the breath. Where it is that I am, I do not have the breath. And the breath, when attention just for a moment is brought to it, in alignment and attunement to the heart simultaneously, brings you immediately back into your center, for you are the breath. You've always been that. And as you attune to that frequency, to that feeling, to that sense of the breath, it is as simple as that. There is a wanting in the mind for it to be something more, or something complicated, or something exciting, or something fun. And perhaps it can just be that you decide to do the jiggly dance. You are already emanating much joy. You can feel the joy in your being, in your voice, in your essence as you speak. Align with that presence, with that joy. or feel and attune to your own heartbeat. Come back into awareness of the heart and listen to it just for a moment or two. And in doing that, it brings everything back into the presence as you return to the presence through the heart, through the breath, through the stillness. In any moment of presence where you bring a focal point to wherever it is that you are, and this now moment, and knowing that wherever you are right now, everything is okay, that there is nothing to worry about or nothing to think about or feel the past or the future. And you just ask right now, in this second, where I am here in this moment, am I all right? And you always are. And then you align that frequency with the breath, and it opens space, allowing you to move forward with more presence.
Thank you, Raphael.
Thank you, Raphael. Thanks for the beautiful work you do for our Creator and for us.
Ah.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Terry. Terry Waller.
Oh, hi. I want to ask the significance, Angel Raphael, of feathers, white feathers. I've been seeing quite a few fall in front of me. Is there a significance to that?
Well, they're very easy to play with from the spiritual realm. And for those who have passed and are lingering, in a sense, still in connection and communication with others, the lightness of the feather, the symbol and the frequency of its vibration and attunement to the flight vibration, it makes it an easy target, in a sense, for connection and communication. And so, well, when it continues to arise and fall and place itself upon your path, someone is trying to get in touch with you. They have a message, they have something they're wanting to say. Usually just that I'm here, that I love you, that all is all right, or and to start to bring the frequency and the vibration of magic back into your experience. And the lightness of the feather, giving you the feeling and the sensation to soar, to take flight, to expand, to move into a vibration of trust and a frequency of faith. So the feather is a very potent and powerful symbol, and it is attuned to messages coming from other frequencies in the most delightful, playful, and light way.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Welcome. Mm.
We'll do one more question. Lydia.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello, hello. Thank you. It's my first time. I'm very grateful for this opportunity. And my question was about the ancestral line, but I'm going to ask it. In these times of profound and rapid change, both collectively and individually, in the birthing of a new consciousness, how important it is to recognize and heal the ancestral traumas in the process of individual healing and manifesting the life we dream of. And how can we know that it is for us to do in our own family? Sorry, I hope I made myself clear. Thank you. Thank you.
Ah. It is in the
Maybe you could try.
It is in the asking if you are to do it for your own family that you have been called by the ancestors to do it because it is coming into your awareness as something that is of importance. And it is very important at this time because there are so many that have passed that are on the other side that have not had necessarily the opportunity of the quickening that is occurring on a karmic level at this time on your planet to transcend and to clear through, to release, and to open up spaciousness for the birthing of something new in the way that many of you do. And so it can feel heavy or a weight upon one's shoulder in order to do that, especially when the traumas and the wounds have great intensity around them. But it does not necessarily need to be so hard or treacherous or difficult or time consuming, for you can align with these energies and call in through the deep primordial sounds and the asking of the ancestors to arrive and to bring into and with in a space of what it is that is coming into culmination. And especially this is relevant to attuning it within the womb space of creation, within your own womb space and that of your ancestors, within the lineage of the DNA, in the unraveling of it and in the releasing. And so, as you can drop into, especially in the emptiness and the darkness, which we've been talking about, to allow the body to move in ways in which it is naturally feeling, if you can let go enough for it to start to do that, it is that through the movement itself and even deep guttural sounds that are very primal, you can start to move the energy that can get caught within the field that is in alignment with wounds that have been created in the ancestral lineage. And it is through the movement and the sound and the breath without needing necessarily to delve into the story of everything, but just the energy and where it is stored. And as you move it through and clear and purify it within your own energetic body and release it through the breath, you create a spaciousness. And it is that spaciousness and that frequency of emptiness that we are deeply attuning to, particularly at this time on your planet, because you are moving so rapidly through this space of time, of this birthing of this new reality, that yes, the more space and emptiness you can create in the healing, the more the wholeness, the vibration of those beings that are in alignment and attuned to your energetic field are clearer and stronger, and also able, from their perspective of where it is that they are, to support and to care for and to be a guiding light in these changing times, rather than a burden, as you move together as a tribe of energy toward this birthing of this collective consciousness that is born through a new experience of agreements that are born out of a new reality. That if the constructs of the old and the old beliefs and the old paradigms and ideas are still deeply embedded on a cellular level, it is more difficult, as we would say, perhaps, to be able to give rise to the realities in which you are choosing at this time to bring in and to create. And so anyone who is feeling called to do this clearing without it having to be treacherous or heavy or necessarily deeply difficult, but a willingness to just allow it to process and move through the vessel, this is of a great service not only to their own collective ancestral lineage, but also to the collective as a whole. For one last thing, anything that is healed within your own ancestral lineage or belief that is released and purified is then healed within the collective, for it cannot be separated. And so it is of great service to many for those who have the energy and the wherewithal to delve into such profound healing.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Ah.
Thank you, everyone.
We are wanting all of you to know that you are deeply, deeply loved. And that although at times being on earth is not always easy, we understand, although that is not an experience that I, as Archangel Raphael, have had, but I have a sense of what it is that many of you are feeling and going through at this time. And that the deconstruction of your reality and the dissolving of your experiences, the way in which you have known it to be, is not easy. and you are in the throes of this chaotic energy and vibration. And many are coming at a rapid pace, and many energies and frequencies and components and compounds, and light is descending upon your planet, is approaching your planet, for you are not alone in your process of evolution. But we want to remind you that there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is an openness, a spaciousness in which you return into this source frequency, this deep remembering, this attunement to the oneness. And so continue to place your attention and your focus on the creation of this new world, of the reality of what it is you are wanting to see, and begin to continuously let go of what is no longer serving you, leaving it behind and opening up space for the birth of a new reality. It is that I am here and always here for you, guiding and opening up light and attuning to your frequency. So call upon me and know that I love you deeply and profoundly, and I'm here to prepare you for the birthing of this new frequency at this time. I send to you all of my love and all of my light, and also all of my darkness, my emptiness from creation itself. Many blessings, much love, and good day. Ow. Well, thank you everybody for coming on today. I know we didn't get to as many questions as normal, but we were chatting about my time in the dark. And if you want to join us Friday, that'll be fun. And if you want to drop into the womb space with us for those 3 weeks on the 27th, that would be sweet too. So whatever feels good to you, I'm sending you lots of love. And I hope you have a beautiful weekend. So turn off your phones, go outside, take a walk in the woods, do something sweet for yourself. Go get a massage or write a love letter to yourself or take a hot bubble bath or do something nice, okay? All right, sending love, everybody. And we'll see you next week, okay? All right. Goodbye.